President's speech was 90% a speech of lamentations, a speech that raised the awareness that the fight against corruption is real. The President admitted that corruption is with us. The President admitted that the looters have gone berserk. The President admitted that the vice is likely to destroy his legacy and the legacy of the fifth incoming regime. The President looked helpless in the fight against corruption. A Kenyan by the name Charles Rubia has identified why the fight against corruption has stalled, why the country is poor, why the food prices and petrol prices and every cost of living has gone up, which the President said it is corruption. Therefore, our client, having listened to the President and having listened to 44 million Kenyans, has instructed us to write a letter to the President to tell the President exactly where the problem is. One, according to our client, the problem about corruption in this country rests with the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution. The Director of Public Prosecution, through numerous petitions that have been filed, showing his reluctance to fight corruption, has refused to do what the public expect him to do. The many petitions that are ranging around 17 are petitions aimed at removal of the bottleneck in the fight against corruption. That bottleneck, called the DPP, the Kenyans on the 27th of August 2010, they passed a constitution and put Article 158 there. That in the event the DPP has issues for removal, a Kenyan of any caliber will walk to the Public Service Commission and raise grounds there. The grounds, if they are genuine, the office or the office holder of the Director of Public Prosecution will be removed. Charles Rubia, Member Chara and the others filed petitions to the JSC, to the Public Service Commission, for the removal of the DPP Noordin Haji. The Public Service Commission, in their response, found out that Charles Rubia had established a prima facie case for the removal of Noordin Haji. Summons were issued to Noordin Haji to come and defend himself against Charles Rubia's petition before the Public Service Commission. Noordin Haji went to the High Court and got an order that we have attached to the President. The President has been having very critical comments against the judiciary. Among the orders that the judiciary has given Noordin Haji is that the two petitions for his removal cannot be processed. Curiously, surprisingly, the order says even any future petition, a speculative, futuristic order, that even any other future petition against the removal of the DPP cannot be processed. Which means that is completely closed, the door is shut. Whether Noordin Haji today removes clothes and walks naked, or he becomes a mental problem, you cannot remove him, because there is an order saying the current two petitions and any other petition. After that, 7 other petitions were filed. They have never been processed. We raised this question and we are telling the president, if a public officer who has always complained that the suspects he takes to court rush to the High Court and get stay of proceedings. He's on record saying the High Court or any other court should not stop the charging of any corruption or anybody charged with an offense. His argument has been, go to that court, defend yourself. When Charles Rubia has gone to the court called the Public Service Commission, he has an order that you cannot prosecute his case. So that is why we have now decided, after Charles Rubia finding that he cannot go anywhere, instructions were given. We went to another office called the Ombudsman, the office of the Ombudsman of this country. We filed petitions there to look at the office of the Director of Public Prosecution, the HR policies, issues of promotions, issues of recruitment, people from one ethnic community. We raised the questions of chasing very senior prosecutors out of the office of the Director of Public Prosecution. Yet again, another order stopped us from moving forward. Thirdly, we raised the third element of incompetence. And among the petitions we raised is we sought to get the academic qualifications, the professional qualifications, the experience and skill one Noordin Haji, considering that he has never prosecuted even one case, an assault or a case involving stealing of chicken. Noordin Haji has never prosecuted any matter, and yet he is the chief prosecutor of this country. We raised those issues. Public Service Commission cannot deal with those issues. His expertise is generating guidelines and giving guidelines and giving guidelines. That is the basis of the incompetence that we are now seeing, where after Justice Murima gave the order that the police charge sheet should not be used, on Monday, one Noordin Haji, because he has no competence, he does not know the law, produced a paper calling it a charge sheet without it being gazetted by the Kenya Gazette as a charge sheet. We raised that question. On Tuesday, he generated a different charge sheet. That charge sheet now, he is saying his office is now a police station. Without that police station, that office of the DPP being gazetted. Third, the confusion we are seeing over the charge sheet, within 1 week, he has generated 3 charge sheets. Is that a person who knows the law? Is that a person competent to be the head of prosecution of this country? Is that a person that, Mr. President, you have entrusted the lives and security of 44 million Kenyans to be under him? In one of the affidavits, the Director of Criminal Investigation has raised a serious constitutional question. Did the framers of the Constitution, did Wanjiku anticipate a DPP who is a criminal suspect? Nowhere did the Kenyans anticipate that the DPP can be a suspect to take plea. The DCI has provided evidence of forgery committed by one Noordin Haji. When the DCI investigates and forwards that file to the DPP, which DPP will approve a charge against himself? It is a serious constitutional question. That is why Charles Rubia has opted to address the head of the executive, the President of the Republic of Kenya, with the 2 issues. One, to compel one Noordin Haji to step aside. the slogan and the song Noordin Haji has always been pushing for the governors to step aside whenever criminal issues have been raised. 2, compel one Noordin Haji to respect and keep the dignity and honor of the office of the Director of Public Prosecution by resigning. The option for removal is closed by a court order. By him resigning from office, he can resign and move out. The same situation that we have reminded the president that when the commissioners of the IBC lost face, they were told to resign. And they resigned and they were paid for the IBC to be restructured. So we are seeking the involvement of the head of state, President of the Republic of Kenya, that he intervenes and calls one Noordin Haji to resign. This is practice common in government. This is practice common in corporate sector, where you are told resign before your term comes because you are a total disgrace. So we hope the president will act to that petition, because the activists, some of our clients are telling us that if the president now does not act, their next action is to cause demonstrations under Article 37 for demanding demonstrations and picketing for demanding for the removal of one Noordin Haji from office for the safety and security of Kenyans who are helpless. Remember, for the last 5 days, no criminal has been charged. There is complete paralysis of all courts in this country. Where are we heading? And the answer is simple. When you install an incompetent, a person not qualified to be a judge as a DPP, this is the answer, and this is the problem the country is facing. So those were the instructions that we have. We have already served the letter to the president's office. The president is out of the country, but I'm sure that letter must have been sent, and all the media houses will tell the president that Kenyans are facing uncertainty when criminals are moving all over and the police cannot arrest, the DPP cannot charge. Who do we turn to? To Your Excellency, the head of state, President Uhuru Kenyatta.